Welcome back, everybody. The History Guy here, back to my non-history things. This is the Lord of the Rings mod for Hearts of Iron 4, and it seemed to go over pretty well with a lot of folks, so I thought I'd go ahead and dive right into an episode 2. As I mentioned before, this will probably not be a long series because it sims so quickly. We'll probably be at least into 1940 by the end of this episode. And because it sims so quickly, I don't really kind of jump in and out like I do in a typical Hearts of Iron game. So the situation is this. I'm Isengard, and right now we're just trying to build up some manpower, and that's going to happen pretty soon now. I've actually already done one national focus, and we're about to do a second that's going to allow me to build up some manpower. Prince Theodred dies. This is, so far, everything is in keeping with what happened in the real Lord of the Rings history. The second Marshal of Rohan, the eldest son of King Theoden and rightful heir to the throne, has been murdered. The perpetrators of this crime remain yet unknown, but reportedly a horde of orcs originating from Isengard. Oops, that was me. Alright, so... Sorry. Yes, it said Prince Theoden. Alright, there's another part of my land doctrine completed. We'll continue on there. Got a little bit of a problem with trade at the moment, but I don't have any available civilian factories, so there's just nothing I can do about that. But soon enough, we will figure out ways to deal with that. I've got a ton of political power available to me that I really need to make use of. So I think we'll go ahead and go to extensive conscription for one thing. We can go to war economy as well. Do those two things. Those will both help quite a bit. Alright. Civil War's over in Moria. Let's see what we can build up here. Right, we're maxed out on factories. We're maxed out on infrastructure, so there's nothing to be done there. I guess let's go ahead and build up our air base a little bit. So I do have some available factories now because of the changes that I made. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got all the trade we need now. Also, we can start getting our fighters in the air. We'll get that up to 100. We'll have them defending the homeland for now. I can do the same with my close air support. Okay. Decisions available. Really not a whole lot I need to do. I can't build any more infrastructure. Improved worker conditions. Nah. Not interested. Alright, we've got 17 divisions right now. I definitely want to have more than that. So we're going to keep firing up as many as we possibly can. Pretty soon we'll have to start a second army. More orcs. There we go. That'll help with manpower. Alright. So let's take a look here, because at this point there's not a lot to be gained by focusing on industry too much until I can build more factories. But I'm pretty limited in other things unless I go right into my quarrel with Rohan, which I'm not quite ready to do yet. So I guess let's focus on research a little bit for now. So we're ready to upgrade our artillery now. Everything, my production right now is not able to keep up with my manpower deficiency, so we're just kind of stuck on that one for now. We're still about a year away from 1940, so we're kind of far out on that right now. We can go with this. This is 1939. Oh my goodness, there's something that's not historical. King Theoden passes away. The entirety of Rohan plunged into grief following the death of Rohan's King Theoden. His grace passed away after losing his battle to a grave medical condition that has plagued Rohan's stability for months. So, I guess Eowyn now is in charge. That's going to make it a little more difficult for me to want to fight them, because I really like her. She's one of my favorite characters in the whole thing. I may have mentioned this in the last episode, but my favorite scene in all of the Lord of the Rings trilogy is the scene where she kills the Witch King, where he says, "You fool, no man can kill me," and she says, "I am no man." I love that part. Alright, there's Fighter Ace Initiative. Alright. There's a full army. Man, everything happens so fast on here. I love it. In the meantime, still lots of political points. What could we do with those? Let's take a look at Fangorn for a second here. We could boost our party's popularity there. We could turn the Entwood into a fascist nation. What do we think? Maybe that's an option. Let's start drifting them toward fascism. I love it. The Ent Council, the fascists. Could you even imagine thinking about a bunch of living trees being fascists? I don't know. Alright, let's see here. Get some more boost for land doctrine. That'll make that go really quickly. Get a boost for our close air support. How's it coming with the Fangorn fascists? Oh, they're already at 2%. So it's going pretty quickly. That's nice. At some point maybe we'll try to stage a coup there. It's going to have to get to... well, their stability's too high. Oh, we can see what we can do about bringing that stability down. Everything's pretty quiet at the moment. Wonder where the ring is. Okay, so we can get some more units into the field. Let's do that. Time for a second army. We're going to need those generals at some point. Alright, are we ready for atomic research? Yeah, let's start a thread for atomic research. We got to make sure that Saruman has nukes. Like I said, I think I want to be at least 100 divisions by the time I go after Rohan. Gondor abandons Isildur's heritage. A royal council of Gondor has agreed to abandon Isildur's heritage after several heirs to Gondor's throne have declined to serve as Gondor's king. The bloodline has become unclear. Alright, sorry Aragorn. I guess there will be no return of the king this time. Alright, we're going to keep on working on those for a little while. I guess we're ready for... Wow. We're producing those things quickly. I don't have the manpower for more fighters, though. We'll worry about that in a little bit once we build up a little more manpower. Alright, let's see. So we're well into May now. Well, not well into May, but we're into May of 1939. How's the fascism coming? Up here in Fangorn. Fascism's up to 7% now. Still, manpower is a huge issue for me. Just the reality of things. Let's go ahead and get this army on the border with Fangorn. Gonna be really quick on these land focuses now. Alright, June 1939. Okay, now we can get our air power going. Wow, we're building fighters quickly now. We don't need that many. No, 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 no. Oh, boy. Alright, there, we can just start them with one and then let them deploy up to 100. There we go. That's the way to do it, I guess. Alright, let's take a look at what's happening with production for a minute here, because obviously I think I can slow down on the planes, at least for now. We need a lot of artillery just to get caught up on the upgrades. Everything else can kind of wait for the time being. What's that do for trade? Oh yeah, now suddenly we have a lot of things we don't need to trade for, but the problem is I don't really have a need for these factories all that much. I do need a little oil from Mordor. Alright, let's go ahead and get these generals. Only takes 14 days to do that. We're going to make reinforcement of all these units already in the field more of a priority. There we go, that was quick. We're going to get it caught up on this first. Such a small territory, it's easier just to do it this way than trying to go in and highlight all the units. Okay, let's go ahead and start quarreling with Rohan, shall we? Actually, you know what? We can claim dominion over Endowaith first. Although that's a big area. Maybe I want to go with Rohan first. Because they're kind of this way, and that'll connect me closer to Mordor anyway. So I think I'll go that way rather than going after this big land here first. A little quiet now here into July. Our quarrel with Rohan's not going to really do a whole lot to change things right off the bat. How about Fangorn? How are we doing on fascism? Oh, we're getting a little chunk now. We're up to 11%. About a year or so, that should be up to a decent amount. The fascists of Fangorn. I love it. Saruman denounces Rohan's integrity. Well, he's not King Theoden anymore. It's Queen Eowyn now. But yeah. Pillage the towns. Do it. That's going to drive down their stability. You know what? Let's go ahead and build up our land forts a little bit along the border with Rohan. Only because we've got nothing else to build. We'll build land forts everywhere in Isengard. We're going to totally fortify the nation of Isengard. More close air support into the field if we ever get any manpower. Alright, I guess we'll wait on that. Shock and awe or air-land battle? I think we're going to go air-land battle. What kind of decisions can we make now? Anything good? Not really. Now it's saying I can build more infrastructure. Okay, let's look at that for a second. No, I can't. I'm maxed out at 10. A little ahead on that. How about synthetic oil refineries? Okay, let's do that, because then that gives me something to build with all my factories. Alright, let's get our planes in. Well, we can. More air superiority. More close air support. Lothlorien declared war on Endowaith. Alright, so see, Endowaith's at war now anyway. Maybe I should have gone after them. Be interested to see how that war breaks down. Pillage the towns of Rohan. I believe the next one then actually gives me territory. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to become the owner of the Forge of Eisen. World tension will increase by 10, and Rohan will lose 20,000 in manpower. Excellent. I like it all. Alright, the Ent are at 17% fascist now. Manpower's up to 15,000, but you know what? I've got, as I'm thinking about this, I've got a lot of stuff, like materials for troops, so it probably makes sense for me to go ahead and do exercises to let these guys' experience get up, because I've got the extra resources to do that. All right, so we've taken the Fords of Eisen. We can now demand the West March. But then we'll stop short of war with Rohan, at least for now. There we go. Fords of Eisen are ours. That means kind of readjusting the border situation. What does that mean for construction? Okay, that does mean another state, but it doesn't look like it's one I can actually do any construction in right now. Well, that kind of stinks. All right, let's pause for just a second here. We have taken some land from Rohan, and we're gonna just continue to build up our army, who we have going through exercises right now because manpower is much more of an issue for me than equipment is right now. So I've got the extra equipment to allow my my forces to do training. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else we have that maybe we need to be thinking about. Okay, here's improved machine tools. Let's do that. Things happen so quickly on this game. It's really nice. Right now we're working on Demand the West March, which is going to demand some further territory from Rohan, which they may or may not accept. If they accept it, they'll give me more territory. If they don't, I'll have a justification for war. Now, here's the thing. Rohan's fascist. So I was looking at this in between episodes, and I realized that maybe they're not the place that I should be focusing, because it could be that they become a useful ally as I'm attempting to... I'm going to join with Mordor, who I believe is also fascist. Yep. And I'm turning Entwood fascist. So maybe Endoaith is where I should be focusing right now, and I'm not. So that's something I'm thinking about. At the end of this particular national focus, I'll make that decision about maybe, excuse me, wanting to change my focus from where it is now. I've got a lot of political power available to me, so let's add a military theorist and a tank designer. We could add a political advisor. It doesn't really do a lot for me, though. Sure, I guess we'll do it anyway. So we're up to 43 divisions. Like I said, before I go to war with anybody, I think I want to be at least at 100. And I can rush some of these divisions in if I need to, because they're fully equipped. They're just not fully trained. Manpower is what kind of holds me back at the moment. Alright, so that guy's actually maxed out. So we're going to go ahead and start a third army. General alerts. Rohan surrenders the West March. Excellent. That's great news. So now we've got some better generals available to us from a national focus. I guess they're not much better, but they'll do. All right, we're going to go ahead now, instead of further pursuing, we're not going to go to war with Rohan because they are fascist. I'm fine with them giving me territory. We're going to go ahead and switch now and claim dominion over Endoaith. That's going to take 70 days. Let's go ahead and get this guy started. So now I've gotten some more territory down here. Not exactly sure what that'll do for me. Let's look at our production for a minute. Way ahead on artillery, so we can slow down on that. Right now, let's focus on close air support, fighters, and upgrading our tanks. And, of course, that means some changes to trade. Ugh, it's kind of an ugly need for trade right now, which is going to pretty much wipe out all my factories. But there's not a lot of use for my civilian factories right now anyway, because I can't build very many things. Let's look at infrastructure in our newly acquired territory, which we still can't build. So we're not able to build in the lands that we've taken from Rohan. Maybe we'll have better luck with what we try to take from Endoaith. Got decisions available, but nothing I don't think that's very helpful to me right now. Hey, we're getting closer to our first nuclear breakthrough, which would be nice. That one more step toward a nuclear Isengard, which is kind of scary when you think about it in the Lord of the Rings world. Only war going on right now is the war between Endowaith and the Golden Commune of Elves. Those are the communist elves up here. And it doesn't appear like it's an active war. I don't think they can attack through here. Yeah, these are the Misty Mountains, I guess. And it appears that it's a unbreachable border, which means these two are at war, but they can't fight across that border. Alright, we can subjugate Endowaith, which I think, if they give in to that, should mean I take the whole country. Which would be kind of awesome to do that without war. We're already almost into April 1940. Gonna rush some more troops into the field. So we're still producing much more than we need. Let's take a look at the air situation here. I'm going to pause for just a second. Synthetic oil experiments are great, but I can't do anything with them because I don't have anywhere to build. And I can't put any more air units into the field because I don't have manpower. Alright, we're into 1940. We can go ahead and get another 5% boost to research time. So all of my current research is going to take at least 3 months. But we're really close to subjugating Endowaith, so that'll be really interesting to see what happens with that. I'm going to go ahead and put these two armies under a field marshal. We'll cancel their existing orders. Put them on the border with Endowaith. I don't know if that'll matter at all. And we'll put him on the border with Rohan, even though I don't think that's absolutely necessary either. Maybe I should be putting it on the border with Gondor. That would probably make more sense, because Gondor's not fascist. So let's do that. Alright, let's see if it works. Oh, it did not. They have declared war. Okay. Stop. So, my apologies. Been having some crashing issues with both Hearts of Iron and with OBS, my screen capture software. My screen capture software has been recording and then corrupting my files, and I think it has to do with Hearts of Iron 4 because it took me 4 tries to boot up Hearts of Iron 4 without it crashing on me. So, what that means for you, the viewer, is that unfortunately you've lost seeing all of June, July, and August of this fight. What has happened basically is this. I've all but taken Endowaith. We're just doing some mopping up issues at this point, which is basically all about just trying to kind of finish off his victory points. So we'll get back at this here in just a second. So I'm just going to kind of clean up some of this. I need to take a look and see what all has happened, because in what I was playing through before, I've gone back to my most recent autosave, which was September 1st. Mordor actually found the One Ring, which was really exciting, but now I don't remember if that happened before or after this, so I guess we kind of have to find out. There it is. Okay, so it happened again. Mordor authorities claim to have recovered. Let's do this first. We just finished off Endowaith. So there's that. Mordor authorities claim to have recovered the One Ring. Reportedly, the ring had been in the hands of a Shire hobbit when a Mordor task force recovered it at the Dead Marshes. The One Ring is a historical trinket of Dark Lord Sauron. It belongs in a Mordor museum. I love that because it's kind of like an homage to Indiana Jones. We'll pull a little bit of that in here when they talk about the Ark of the Covenant belonging in a museum. So, or what? Maybe it was the Cross of Coronado he was talking about. I don't know. It's kind of an ongoing thing that Indiana Jones would say. No matter what, Isengard now has grown to include all of Endowaith, so this is some good news. Not only will it mean more manpower for me, but especially more resources, because Endowaith is a pretty decently resource-heavy territory. As you can see here, a ton of steel. I guess that's me, actually. It's oil is primarily what Endowaith has. Looks like this is a separate country right here, but man, look at their resources. Just in that little territory, they've got all this oil, steel, we've got chromium, tungsten. Dang, I think there's where we go next. Oh, those are the mines of Moria, that's why. Excellent. So let's take a look at them. They have a faction, the Northern Protection League, but I think we're going to take them on, build up the military a little bit, and then just park them on that border, and Moria is not going to be much of a threat, I don't think. In the meantime, Entwood. Let's see where they are. They're at 25% fascist, so we're working our way there. Rohan should be a friend, I would guess, even though they're not actively in our side yet. They are fascists, and I think at some point we'll probably jump in on our side. Mordor's continuing this fight with Ruin, which I think should go much, much better now that they have the ring. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up right there, so my apologies on how that kind of ended. But you didn't miss a whole lot other than me conquering Isengard. So I'm working on Examine the Eagles, which is right here, and then that's going to open up Training Orc Scholars, which is going to give me another research slot. So those will be the things that are coming next. In the meantime, I would love to hear your thoughts. Use the comment section below. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And just a couple of things to be aware of coming up. Be watching for a channel update in the next few days. Live streams are coming back, and we're about ready to start another multiplayer Hearts of Iron series. We're going to play Führerreich. So if you want to get on board with that, we're going to go on Saturdays. But use the comment section below to let me know your thoughts. Check out some of those other things. Be watching for that channel update, and we will see you again real soon. Thanks for watching.